of the originals, 3 of the mayor's appointments.
Okay. All right, so let's get started, calling the roll.
Jay Bell,
Here.
Alice Cannella,
Here.
Darren Collins, Kenny Custer,
Here.
Doug Fisher, Walker Jones,
Here.
Bill McGriff,
Bill's here.
Bill's here. I'm gonna unmute you, Bill.
I think he had to step away for just a second.
He's back.
Thank you.
Bill McGriff,
Here.
Gene Shipley, Boyd Ville,
Here.
Dick G.
Here. Let me read you this preamble that covers and authorizes us to meet in a virtual setting. And I'll just read, we in this country are presently experiencing and having to deal with the coronavirus pandemic. It's been a year, by the way, and are presently under a state of emergency as declared by the governor of the state of Tennessee. Pursuant to executive order, the current order is number 71, issued by Governor Lee. This is being conducted in a manner that allows us to assemble on the Zoom format. Assuming no objection, we will continue on with the meeting. This meeting is public, and anyone wishing to address the board may do so. At the end of the meeting, we'll give you a cue when that time comes, and we'll give you a phone number, and you can call in and address the board at that time. Okay, hearing no objection, we'll begin the meeting. Do we have any visitors? I don't hear anyone at this point. And there's no one listed there. All the commissioners should have received board minutes dated December 16th, 2020. Do I hear a motion for approval?
So moved. Bill.
Thank you, Bill.
Second. Walker.
Hey, Walker, thank you. Any further comments? All those approved? We'll call the roll.
Jay Bell,
Yes.
Alice Cannella,
Yes.
Kenny Custer,
Yes.
Walker Jones,
Yes.
Bill McGriff,
Yes.
Boyd Ville,
Yes.
Dick G.
Yes. Commissioners also should have received minutes from the work session on January 21st, 2021. Let's call the roll for approval, please. Or I guess I should ask for a motion, please, first. Do I hear a motion for approval?
Motion to approve, Boyd.
Thank you, Boyd. Second?
Second. Bill.
Thank you, Bill. Okay. Natasha, let's call the roll, please.
Jay Bell,
Yes.
Alice Cannella,
Yes.
Kenny Custer,
Yes.
Walker Jones,
Yes.
Bill McGriff,
Yes.
Boyd Ville,
Yes.
Dick G.
Yes. Neill, this is time for your report if you have one.
I do not have a council's report today.
Okay. We love hearing from you, but it's always good news not to have a report from council.
I think so too.
Second that.
Okay, we're at the director's report segment of the agenda. Mike, you want to take over, please?
Yes, sir. Taylor, if you could put up the SSO report. So you'll see we had 13 SSOs for December. 4.46 inches of rain, which is about a half inch below normal for December this time of year. Of course, that's a reading at the airport, so there are wide and varied rain totals throughout our system, but that's the best record we have. Of those SSOs, 9 were wet weather, 1 was a blockage, power failure, 1 was a pump control malfunction, and 1 was a tree falling on an aerial line on the side of Lookout Mountain in a very interesting repair. So anyway, if anybody has any questions about those.
It's paid about $30 million for the Lester Codex, a scientific notebook that once belonged to whom?
With no questions, I'll move on to the PSLP report. We had 14 emergencies last month. It's similar to
Answers what?
17 we had in November. You can see we have 3 PSLP contracts running at this time. The newest being the 2311. It's at 27% completion. 18 through 28 is at 53% completion, and 17 through 19 is at 96% completion. Anyone have any questions about that?
I guess the only comment about that is just to make sure we understand what completion means relative to customer satisfaction. We've had this discussion before, and the completion is the final step, which takes more time for some reason, right?
Yes. So once an address is assigned to a plumber, and the work, we televise the line, and the work, whatever work is determined that needs to be completed. Until then, the plumber is responsible for clearing any blockages at no charge to us or the customer, of course.
A little bit, okay?
So, if it's a major, obviously, if it's an emergency type collapse or something like that, they would get that done in quicker time. But if it's a root situation or something like that, that they can cut the roots out and otherwise free up the line, those generally will take longer to be completed because the plumber is not having to go back repeatedly and unstop the customer. I wish our completion rate was faster, but I really don't have a method at this point of accelerating the completion rate.
But this doesn't suggest that we're off the rails with response on PSLP.
No, we respond
Okay.
immediately, and if someone has a blockage and can't use their line, that is taken care of immediately.
Okay.
The repairs that are of lesser severity tend to take longer.
Okay. But we believe we're still under control. I mean, this program is under control.
Oh, yes, and
Okay, good.
it works. It works well for the customer, I think.
Okay.
Well, moving on, we can go to the report. We had 45
Interesting. Okay. For 60.
tap permits sold in December for $30,310. That brings the year total to 658 for the calendar year. Similarly, for the calendar year 2019, we had 640. So we actually sold a few more permits in 2020 than in 2019.
Okay.
That's pretty good with COVID hanging up over everybody's head, I think.
Well, when I looked at those numbers, I was surprised, actually.
Yeah. We should see that increase in 2021, shouldn't we?
Well,
All or nothing.
I suspect it will probably remain fairly steady, but we'll see.
Okay.
We haven't, of course, we have the past history, but we haven't been putting it up in graphical form like this for well, for about the last year or so, I guess. So it'll be interesting to see what the numbers are for 2021.
Okay.
I've got a question, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, sure. Bill?
Why are we keeping track of this on a calendar year basis versus everything else on a fiscal year basis?
We can keep track of this. I thought the same thing. That's just the way we've been doing it. We can
Okay.
I can certainly give you a report at the end of the fiscal year as well.
Well, I was just curious. I mean, if it's, you know how us accountants are. We believe in consistency.
Understand? In August, or sorry, in July, we'll give you a fiscal year report.
Okay. Not a big deal. It just struck a question,
Well,
I love it. Because it comes to the whole team.
Well, if there are no more questions, we can move on to resolutions.
okay.
Resolution 0121-01, a Hamilton County Water and Wastewater Treatment Authority, WWTA Board Resolution accepting ownership of the Savannah Cove Subdivision Sewer System, project number 18-336, at the contractor certified fair market cost of the sanitary sewer system of $256,300.
Hear a motion for approval?
Walker, motion to approve.
Thank you. Second?
Doug, second.
Thank you, Doug. Welcome.
Thank you.
Mike, you want to just sort of describe what this one is?
Yeah, this is a 40 lot subdivision in Ooltewah, Roy Lane, I believe. And it's all gravity.
Okay. Any further comment? Any questions? Okay, Natasha, let's call the roll, please, ma'am.
Jay Bell,
Yes.
Alice Cannella,
Yes.
Kenny Custer,
Yes.
Doug Fisher,
Yes.
Walker Jones,
Yes.
Bill McGriff,
Yes.
Boyd Ville,
Yes.
Dick G.
Yes.
Resolution 0121-02, a Hamilton County Water and Wastewater Treatment Authority, WWTA Board Resolution authorizing the chair and/or executive director to execute documents to enter into an agreement with Croy Engineering's LLC for the Shorttail Springs Force Main Replacement and Pump Station Upgrade, Phase 2, WWTA Project Number 20-336, for a total cost not to exceed $120,500.
Mike, you described this one for the working meeting, but would you give us just a brief overview before we proceed?
So the Shorttail Springs Pump Station is located off of Shorttail Springs Road, and it primarily serves the western part of the Hunter Road area. And we have a capacity issue. The station was built in the mid-90s, and it's pretty much at capacity. And we have a moratorium in that area as well. So this is the second part of a phase project. We are going to upgrade the pump station with larger pumps and new controls. And we will also increase the force main size from 6 to 8 inch. And this particular design will involve a 4,600 feet of new force main.
All right. Do you hear a motion for approval?
So moved, Alice.
Thank you, Alice. The second?
Second, Bill.
Hey, Bill, thank you. Is there any further discussion or questions?
Yes, sir. Is this the one where the county is going to start paving the road and we have a time frame? We got to get it done. Is this the one, Mike?
Well, this is actually the phase 2 of that. The one resolution 4 is phase 1, where we're only doing we put the project out in the phase 1 project out is just piping in Snow Hill Road because of the county paving project.
Okay.
Correct. In what 2008 movies was Liam Neeson?
All right. Anyone else?
From France, what
All right, we're ready. Natasha?
Jay Bell,
Yes.
Alice Cannella,
Yes.
Kenny Custer,
Yes.
Doug Fisher,
Yes.
Walker Jones,
Yes.
Bill McGriff,
Yes.
Boyd Ville,
Yes.
Dick G.
Yes.
Resolution 0121-03, a Hamilton County Water and Wastewater Treatment Authority, WWTA Board Resolution authorizing the chair and/or executive director to execute documents to enter into a contract with John Buchert and Sons Company for the Signal Mountain WWTP Catwalk Replacement Project, WWTA project number 19-317, for a total cost not to exceed $94,978.50.
Okay, Mike, you want to just give us a brief overview of this one?
So this is the beginning of Signal Mountain Wastewater Treatment Plant. There are existing catwalks that operators use to walk out over the clarifiers to perform maintenance and take samples, that sort of thing. And they're in very sad shape. Well, this will basically replace those catwalks. And it's really a safety operational upgrade going in the future. This was bid, and this is the low bid price.
We were going to do this regardless of a further upgrade to that plant. weren't we?
Yes, if we were to, we're in discussions whether or not the plant ultimately stays or goes. We need to do this either way because it's a safety issue.
Okay. All right.
Mr. Walker, motion to approve.
Thank you, Walker. You hear a second?
Doug, second.
Thanks, Doug. Anyone else? Any other questions or comments? Alice? Yes, ma'am.
I just had an observation that the low bid was quite a bit. I mean, there were two fairly high bids on this. Was this within the engineer's estimate, Mike?
The second bidder was relatively close. I'm not sure why the other two bids were so high, to be honest. I don't recall the exact engineer's estimate off the top of my head. Scott is on. He may be able to.
Yeah, it was about 125,000. So they were a little bit below our estimate, but we usually estimate a little high just so we stay within budget. But it came in line with what we were expecting.
Thank you.
No problem.
Anyone else? All right. Natasha, let's call the roll.
Jay Bell,
Yes.
Alice Cannella,
Yes.
Kenny Custer,
Yes.
Doug Fisher,
Yes.
Walker Jones,
Yes.
Bill McGriff,
Yes.
Boyd Ville,
Yes.
Dick G.
Yes.
Resolution 0121-04, a Hamilton County Water and Wastewater Treatment Authority, WWTA Board Resolution authorizing the chair and/or executive director to execute documents to enter into a contract with Mays Construction Company for the Short Tail Springs Force Main Replacement and Pump Station Upgrade Phase 1, WWTA project number 20-336, for a total cost not to exceed $1,056,363.
Okay, Mike, you want to?
So this is the project that we're in the time crunch on with the paving of the Snow Hill Road from Short Tail Springs to the Snow Hill Pump Station. So Mays was the low bidder. Mays is a good company. We used them before. In fact, they recently completed the Lee Highway Pump Station upgrade for us. So good bid, good contractor.
Where's the food? You'll be here a little bit, okay?
Who was that?
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I thought I heard somebody make a comment. Maybe that was just you at the end.
It may have been me.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay. All right. So do I hear a motion for approval?
So moved.
Thanks, Alice. Who was the second?
I'll second. This is Jay.
Okay, thank you, Jay. And I guess I'm going to make a comment, and Mike, correct me if I'm wrong on this, but this project and number 2 up there above it more or less, and I hate to use the word complete, which meaning there's no more work to do, but this does bring us to completion on some major projects up in the Uldua area, which are going to make, I think, a significant difference in our overflow situation up there. Am I right on that?
It will certainly help our operational situation. I won't say that it really gets our house in order in the Uldua area once we get these projects complete. Now, there will be a need for some expansions and whatnot as things grow up there, but the completion of this short tail project will put us in pretty good shape in the Uldua area.
Yeah, everything's flowing in the right direction.
Yes.
I got it. Okay. Okay. So we have a motion and a second. No further discussion. Let's call the roll, please.
Jay Bell,
Yes.
Alice Cannell,
Yes.
Kenny Custer,
Yes.
Doug Fisher,
Yes.
Walker Jones,
Yes.
Bill McGriff,
Yes.
Boydville,
Yes.
Dick G.
Yes. I might add, not only does it help the overflow situation, but it does add capacity up there. And so there is opportunity for more building up in that area, which means more customers, which is a good thing for us.
Yes.
Okay. Is that all the resolutions?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
That is wrong.
Who's going, what's the next thing on the agenda? Is it the AR? Yeah, there we go.
Wikipedia.
Okay, so this is the AR report for the month of December 2020. And the total AR amount for December was $1.3 million, with $517,726 of that being at least 1 month late, which is right here, this trend.
Are we, Peggy, when are we going to write off the next amount of that late stuff?
Now, who's the lead singer of the band Nirvana?
We've been writing off and sending accounts to collections.
Yeah.
And that was a conversation we had yesterday, I guess. I'm not certain what the answer is to your question. We'll need to do some more investigation. But we are sending accounts to collections monthly, and they are being processed by INCO monthly.
I mean, this graph is misleading in a way that if you just read the top line, it looks like revenue is going up dramatically. And I know we have had a price increase, but it's because of that, the increase in that bottom category. Anyway.
We'll have to get back to you, Dick.
It's a mystery to me because when you get over to the, go ahead. Taylor, you doing this?
Yes, sir. So
okay, good.
This is, you are correct that the current bill portion is increasing. So for December of 2020, the current bill was the highest on record that we've had in since 5 years of beginning to track this at $801,000. And this blue line here is kind of a trend showing an increase. And so you are correct about that, but we met regarding the lower trend yesterday, and we decided that we're going to keep an eye on it and have to investigate a little bit further moving forward, especially as we begin to conduct business as usual versus kind of the policies and procedures that we've been implementing under the pandemic.
Okay.
I would add, while we did start shutoffs back in November, we don't shut off before holidays, and we've had a number of holidays in the last 2 months. So we're not, as Taylor mentioned, we're not back to normal in our procedures just yet.
Okay.
what nearby catch. Correct. Dudley is preparing correctly what fish is called.
So that could, I guess that could have an impact on that, on those late fees. We'll see, I guess.
Correct. St. Ignatius-
But this is encouraging here.
Yes, sir. So this is the collection rate for September of 2020, which is 93.02%, with our cumulative collection rate at 95.8%.
Yeah. Just remind board members that this is just Tennessee American customers, not the,
Correct.
whether that's a proxy for the whole, for all our customer base, we really don't know the answer to that, but
Right.
maybe. Okay. But that is encouraging for sure.
What cosmonaut performed the first spacewalk?
And if there aren't any additional comments or questions, that concludes the AR report.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. Any questions from a board member?
Gems, malachite, and peridot are what basic color?
All right. Bill, are you ready for the financial report?
I am ready and I'm, anyway, yeah, sure. For the month of December 2020, we had an operating profit, a net profit of $242,201.65 in the regular operating account and $199,374.54 in the PSLP account, for a total net income for the month of December of $441,576.19, bringing our year-to-date total for the 6 months ending December 31st, 2020, a net income in the regular operating account of $1,419,920.81, in the PSLP account, $1,115,075.71, for a grand total 6 months year-to-date net income of $2,534,996.52. We started the year with I'm going to cash flow now. Yeah, we started the year on July the 1st of this fiscal year with $24,325,816.17 in cash. We ended the 6 months ended December 31st with $24,667,772 in cash, for a net increase in cash for the 6 months of $341,955.83. I'm sorry, that was for the month of December. I just for the month of December. And for the year, we've increased cash $967.47. Our cash is increasing at a slower rate than it was the last fiscal year, but we've been doing a lot of projects out of cash, and as long as it's increasing, we're in pretty good shape. The only other thing to note is we submitted a request for reimbursement on the SRF loan for the city of East Ridge in December for $1,115,493, which we'll get that cash when that reimbursement comes in. And we made our first draw on the, as you recall, the $17 million bond issue that we got through the county. We made our first draw in December for $724,813, which we haven't received. So we have some cash coming in, for, so anyway, that's basically the report for the month of December and the 6 months ended December 31st. If you have any questions, Peggy will be glad to answer them.
Yeah. Hey, Taylor, put the previous graph up for me for just a minute. In the months of May and June there, Bill, where expenses exceed revenue.
Yes.
What is that normal for that time of year? Where we have where we have contracts or something that,
That concerned me when that happened, and I don't know that we addressed that. Peggy, do you have any thoughts on that?
The expenses I know for June is where we found out that INCO was not writing off like we needed to. So over $200,000 of the expenses in June were the write-offs that we discovered. That
oh,
should have
okay.
been happening all year long.
So,
And
that-
did
and
we-
so
Now
that's
I'm
what,
not certain.
And Dick, we also made a large, as I recall, a large payment, wheelage to the city of Chattanooga in one of those months there.
is that a one-time charge?
Which one? Which one?
That was,
Dick?
Well, I guess it would have been in May or June, probably in May.
The correct answer is United Nations.
Are you talking about the wheelage or the write-off?
I'm not really sure which one to, you know, I don't have a specific question. I would just, when expenses exceed revenue, it actually, it happened in October too, now that I look at it.
October was where there were 2 loan payments made on the refinanced First Tennessee bond because they prepaid it a day. So that's why
Okay.
your debt payment also looks really low last month, and like it jumped back up is because they made the November payment the last day of October.
Okay.
All right, Jonathan.
so Dick, I guess the answer is when you're running on a slim margin and
Yeah.
you have some timing differences in payments that throws you into a loss situation for a particular month.
Just for 1 month.
Yeah, the important thing is the trend, I suppose, you know?
Yeah.
Answer is a dime. Challengers?
All right.
Well, I think I know what May is as well. And we've changed the procedure for this year is the flow monitoring, and there's one other that we were rolling into CWIP, which is an asset, but it was actually a flow monitoring expense. And I made the journals to move it out of construction into expense. And we, like I said, we changed that process for this year to where it's going straight to expense each month.
Okay.
So you shouldn't see that spike this year.
So that was just a one-time accounting.
Mhm.
Okay. All right.
All right, on the ends here.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions?
All right, Puppy and Jonathan for 100 points.
Financially, we continue to be in very good shape, best I can tell.
So far, so good.
Yeah.
Wow, fascinating.
All right. That brings us to my report. And the only thing I want to remind you of is as we approach the completion of the negotiations for the CD. I'm getting some interference. I don't know where that's coming from. But
Somebody's got a TV on or something. It's been
yeah,
going on the entire
I'm
meeting. Very distracting.
I'm just going to talk over it. We expect that to happen within the next month or two. And then Mike and I have arranged with Scott, along with Scott and Rich, to come and give the board a review and a presentation of what's contained in that CD. You know, not item by item, but complete enough that you all know what is there. And that'll probably occur sometime March, or maybe April. So when that's announced, I would really love to have everyone's participation in that meeting to keep you as informed as possible about what the CD really is all about, and to make sure you're familiar with it. That's all I've got. I think it's amazing that we continue. It's probably not amazing. I shouldn't say it's amazing. It's becoming commonplace, but it needs to be commented on that we are functioning, in my opinion, extremely well on the operational side. And in spite of all the the difficulties brought about by COVID and the level of work. So my hat's off to the folks at WWTA for great work. Okay, Kenny, do you have anything?
No report, Mr. Chair.
I see Curtis is not there. We need to talk about Curtis and find out if he's going to be replaced or not. Walker, do you have anything?
No report. I just want to apologize to Mike about Lookout Mountain's topography.
Well,
I guess,
that was an interesting repair. They had to walk pipe up the side of the mountain pretty much.
I guess
It
that
was
answers
creative.
that answers the question. If a tree falls on Lookout Mountain, does anybody care, right?
we cared on we cared on New Year's Eve. I'll put that.
Boyd, how
No
about Signal
report.
Mountain?
Nothing, sir.
All right. Jay, have you got anything?
I don't have anything to report. I will say this, Chairman. You know, at the beginning of each meeting, when you go over the governor's order about the Zoom and this and that,
Yes.
it might be a good idea to remind the members that if they're not speaking, if they don't push the mute button, we get a lot of feedback.
Yeah.
And it's happening, you know, in a lot of the meetings. And I know everybody is experiencing this phenomenon of Zoom burnout and Zoom frustration. And I think that just adds to it. So if everybody could have, I think they're calling it mute discipline.
Mute discipline. Okay, outstanding.
I've got,
Thank you. Board members, take note of that that comment. Thank you, Jay. Doug, have you got anything?
No, just kind of the same thing you raised about wondering about Curtis in that situation. Likewise, I don't think we've seen Gino or the Ridgeside rep, have we?
Yeah.
In quite
Yeah.
some time. And it just seems to me like as a board and the people that are showing up consistently for meetings that we need to figure out what's going on with the rest of our board.
Yeah, good comment. We have Curtis, and there was an appointment from Red Bank, but I don't know where that stands. He made some inquiries, and
Mr. Chair, we do have someone to fill the space for Curtis Jones.
oh, okay.
We have a name. The Red Bank appointee is still trying to decide if he's going to accept the appointment or not. He may be.
Okay.
We sent him the information for the meeting today. So
Okay. All right. Bill, have you got anything?
No report, Mr. Chairman.
And Alice?
No report, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you all. Is there anything else to discuss?
I would add, we need to remind the public of the phone number.
Yes. And that number is 209-7845. So if you call now, there will be someone there to take your call and you'll be transferred into the meeting. We'll wait for a few minutes while you call in if you desire. Our next board meeting is February 24th. The next work session is February 18th. And we should have by that time, well, maybe we'll find out. We have a meeting with EPA on what, Mike, the 19th?
Actually, I believe it is 18th. I think it's the afternoon of the next committee meeting.
The 18th, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. So we should have more information for you on the progress of CD negotiations. Natasha, or I don't think we're getting a call, are we?
No, sir. No calls yet.
No calls? How long should we wait? What's it been, a minute?
A minute is would suffice.
All right. I'm gonna presume that there's no one there. I look forward to the day when I can meet with you all in person. I miss seeing you in person. I wish you good health. I got my first vaccination this morning, so I feel better. So but good wishes to everyone. Thank you for what you do for WWTA. We'll be adjourned.